Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another showcase here of the Paladins Qualifiers. My name is Rainday, and I'm joined today with Tattle, and we will be walking you through the semifinals, actually, of the losers bracket to see who makes it into the grand finals in just a moment. Right now, we've got a little bit of a mirror match, but not exactly. We've got Identity Crisis Gray versus Identity Crisis Black, and on the left-hand side, you'll find Identity Crisis Gray. Icy Gray for short. Now, that's SexySavior onto the Ruckus, Cerevok onto the Pip, Dramamine onto the Drogos, WeeabooJones onto the Fernando, and RobFord onto the Barrack. As well on Identity Crisis Black, not the first time you've seen them today. Chisus onto the Ruckus, KanSenpai on the Grok, Cammy onto the Androxus, Impacalypse onto the Barrack, and Trillion onto the Pip. What are you seeing about these team comps?
I mean, we're seeing the Grok again, which I really disagree with, especially when on the other side, the pick we're seeing is Drogos, which I think is actually very strong right now, especially against this Fernando meta we're seeing. If you get that Dragon Punch right into the face of the Fernando, you shut him down completely, and it's already looking like it's paying off for them. Dramamine, he picks up 2 kills by himself almost in the back and gives his team the lead.
Yeah, Identity Crisis Gray doing a good job. After losing First Blood, WeeabooJones going down. They seem to be staying alive here and forcing Identity Crisis Black off the point. Dramamine and WeeabooJones back in action there as Cerevok goes in, trying to blink in onto the other Pip and the Grok defending the hallways, but it's not enough. Now the Pip goes in, trying to put some point pressure on, but Dramamine is there with the Drogos, blasting them back. You see WeeabooJones holding on to the point, and it's so far looking so good for Identity Crisis Gray, who I wouldn't have expected to be doing so well in this initial capture point against Icy Black, who kind of gave, I believe it was Zenith Black or Ronin a run for their money. Yeah, I believe
they
it
gave Zenith Black a run for their money, and Cammy comes in last second and showing he was really the MVP of that series, the one holding them in it. He comes in, picks up the double kill, does get shut down by WeeabooJones, who chases him down. But he just makes it there too late. The payload already secured for the side of Icy Gray, and they're going to start to push this one forward. SexySavior with the double kill, allowing them to start gaining this ground.
And ground gained is an important advantage in this game, as we know. The team with the higher ground, the team with the advantage, especially when you're playing characters with splash damage like Pip, is going to have a significant ability to aim and hit their shots with ease over the other team, who's going to have to be aiming up and not being able to take advantage of some of the splash that their team might have.
SexySavior, Hexafire popped right into the face of Cammy with the reflect and just reflects all of it back in his face. But a great chicken comes through, and they manage to clean up the fight that looked very dire for them. Still, though, payload is still moving right now. There is no one contesting this, and there is no one in position in the chokes either.
Yeah, the problem is if you're Icy Black, you go through that channel on the right-hand side, and you try and contest, but if you do not get through to it and you take too much damage, you cannot contest on the left-hand side, and that's where the payload is going. That's the route it goes, so you can't stop it. So you got to make sure you come around that opposite side to defend, even though it takes a little bit longer, and we saw them pay for that here as Icy Gray.
Drama is just going off right now. 7 streak. He shut down the Hexafire from Chisus, completely took him out. Cammy, however, he's popping the Cursed Arm, picks up RobFord. Chisus is back in the fight now. Dramamine really trying to do the work here on this Drogos, and it looks to be paying out. He's going aggressive. He might be taken down here. There we go. Chisus finally chases him down and gets the kill that they need. Payload is stalled for the moment as the rest of Icy Gray, they start to get cleaned up.
I swear, man, it sounds like you're saying Jesus is killing all these people. That is what I'm hearing in my earphones. So we got to get him. We got to make sure we are pronouncing this name correctly. Is it Chisus? Is it Jesus? Is it? I have no idea what it is. We need to figure this out because I'm getting this is a little sacrilegious at this point. You know.
I mean, he's not Jesus. He's Chisus. You know.
Oh, he's
the god of cheese.
The Jesus of cheese.
I was hoping for some cheese strats coming out here, maybe like a Sky, but sadly he's going for the meta pick, so we can't say he's the true Chisus.
You know, pros are so boring because they only pick the best gods, right? They only pick the best champions. That's what I want to see. Sky. I want to see Buck. I want to see that. That's much more entertaining for us fans and us commentators to be able to see. But no, I'm just kidding. It's actually even better when we have competitive high-level teams showing exactly why these characters are good and what they can do to go ahead and counter each other here.
Actually said in chat, it's Chisus. As in like chi, as in like the energy force chi, and then sus.
Chisus. Okay, I got it. So I guess that
Less
could be
cheese, more chi.
okay, more Chisus. There you go. I like it. As you see the Hexafire coming out by my man Chisus as well, but he does get taken down. Therefore, he did not have that divine energy with him on that one. It just looks like it wasn't enough to keep him alive. But a nice Tempest from KanSenpai. Look at that. Unbelievable double kill there from the Grok player.
I'm really not a fan of this Grok pick. Personally, I find it so frustrating that the only time we see Grok really do anything on this one is when he pops that ultimate. But boy, when he pops that ultimate, KanSenpai does a great job with the Tempest every time.
KanSenpai just being the master Grok player. He's turning this pick, which people are saying, it's not working, into something that works. I mean, it works for him. I mean, that's to me as a competitive player. Some people will disagree with your choices, but if you play the best on that character, I mean, why would you play another character that you will not be as effective in? It doesn't matter if your character is effective if you can't be effective with that character.
Kami cuts and shuts that point control down as I see Grey. They start to take things back. It's now up to Dramamine, who comes in to try and stall things out, but he's taken down. WeeabooJones makes it in time. Stall was enough for the rest of his team to make it there. KanSenpai taken down. Again, it's just Kami left standing as actually Trillion tries to join him. The rest of his team, there they are. They're going to help him out. WeeabooJones, I don't think he's staying this one. He pops the Immortal, trying to keep it going. SexySavior comes in. Mega Turret is popped. That's going to wipe him out. And the capture point goes over to Icy Grey in a comeback.
Yeah, that Mega Turret, let's talk about that because, we saw it be, popped there by the Barrack. What have been the changes to Barrack in this last CV26? If people are new, haven't watched, used to his Dome Shield ultimate, he's got a Mega Turret now. And what does that do?
So, we saw that we saw that Tome Shield get moved over, and I mean, it took me a while at the start to get used to it. Every time I'd see Grok pop that ultimate, I just thought to myself, here we go, here's the action. Oh, wait, that's just his totem now. But, of course, we saw that Dome get moved over from Barrack to Grok with his ward. It doesn't place the flame turret as before, so don't worry, Grok isn't OP because of that. And he instead got a boost to his turret, in essence, and he places a Mega Turret down, which fires rockets at an extremely fast rate. They move extremely fast as well and do a lot of damage. The thing is, though, we're seeing it being countered quite often because any kind of shield almost just completely nullifies it. A barricade from Barrack will completely shut it down. Fernando, quite often, just sits in front of it with that shield and just shuts it down. So it's so hard to use in a good situation.
Yeah, that's very, very good. I have a question about that in just a moment, since we've seen Barrack and Grok kind of change a little bit here in this patch, so I want to get your thoughts on that. But right now, we've got a payload almost being pushed in, but WeeabooJones and RobFord doing a good job, as well as SexySavior, to keep this back out of their base and give themselves some time for their team to regroup and set a solid defense. Now, we're looking at defense coming in, but you see Barrack and Grok being changed, right? And they both kind of got a little bit of something that the other had. Do you think that makes both of those characters stronger in general, or do you think it brings them towards a weaker point in terms of their effectiveness? What do you think changes? Do any of them go up in your book or down?
It really sort of changes both of them in a way. We see Barrack become weaker in a way, but that's because he was just so strong. Barrack was always meta, not because of his actual character abilities or damage. It was more just because of his kit. You had two shields on one character. You had the ultimate and the barricade, which you do so often, as well as both of those turrets. It was just such an issue to deal with, and so removing that extra dome shield really makes him feel a lot better as a player in the meta right now. You've got that barricade, still very useful. Turret's still great. The Mega Turret feels like a really impactful ultimate that takes some skill and positioning to use. And so it really makes him feel a lot better. Grok as well, people keep saying he's not great right now. He's not as good. And I don't think he is as good as he was before. But the way that his totem has changed to that ward totem, the bubble dome, I feel it's a lot better design-wise. It needs some balancing, it needs some tuning to make it more viable, but the balance idea and design idea behind it is so much better.
Right. Right, and that's very good. Really interesting stuff there on the changes between Grok and Barrack and CB26. Of course, this was mainly a polish patch, and I think they've done a great job with that as well. We can mention some of those finer points in a moment, but right now there's a fight going on Waterfall, and we got to catch it. WeeabooJones coming in the backside there, facing off against 2, however, and it looks like he's not going to get the better of that one. Nobody on the capture point. Again, we're seeing these big-time brawls happening, trying to get that first kill, and Dramamine does take down SexySavior. Actually, no, takes down Chisus.
Chisus gets taken down, and Dramamine doing a great job returning the very aggressive play there. And as you said, players don't go for this point control first, because if you're on the point, you're such an easy target. It's all about whoever gets the lead first, wipe them out, and then go for the point controls. You see a great chicken come through from Trillion, takes down 1, takes down 2, Mega Turret comes out, but Immortal comes down, and this is what I mean. WeeabooJones just completely cancels that ultimate out with the Immortal and the shield, and now the rest of his team are going to turn up. Cerevok finds 1, SexySavior helps him out, and they find the kills they need to, coming ahead in this point fight.
Cerevok, RobFord, they're all there on the point until Grok pops his tip as KanSenpai says, get on out of there. I'm the senpai. Back away. This is my point, and he looks like he's doing enough because he gets a double kill on the RobFord and a Cerevok, although he does get taken down by Dramamine, and it is only a matter of time before Dramamine goes down himself, unless he can rocket boost himself up into the air, which he does with ease. And now WeeabooJones and him are fighting on this capture point, trying to give their team an advantage. WeeabooJones with Icy Gray, and of course Androxus and Barrack now fighting for Team Icy Black, trying to get themselves a little bit more of an advantage in this game, which they already seem to have. And a fantastic kill by Trillion onto WeeabooJones that might have just shifted it, Tattle, into the way of Icy Black.
Icy Black right now, they have the advantage, but the kills now turning back against them. They go very aggressive with the holds, but don't win them. Here comes the Dragon Punch, though. Dramamine coming in. Oh, just about dodged out. And they're going to take him out of the air. Icy Black, they take the point.
Oh, man, and he missed it. He went through everybody. He was just like window shopping. He looked through, everybody saw him, and they're like, hey, how you doing? Oh, there's a dragon flying. Oh, wait, hold on, let's kill him. And immediately gets taken down midair after he cancels his flight. Just got to be injury to insult, man. Insult to injury. That was just, that's got to be hurtful. That's got to be hard to take as a
The dash
Gragas
came out from
player.
Androxus there. Cammy just sidesteps it just sneakily at the end, just like a matador. Dodges right out of the way of that, and straight through. Dramamine doesn't find the kill that he needs to. He doesn't get on the point either. If he'd have found that kill, he'd have stopped on the point and contested it. Would have been a great play, but sadly dodged out.
Well, you know, I think this is what's beautiful about Paladins and the direction that they're going. I think they realize that, you know, there are some characters that kind of are, you have to pick them, right? Just as we saw burn cards that you kind of had to pick. Aggression and Develop were just cards you just had to buy because they were the best cards. 25% extra damage, 600 health onto a character who only has 1900 health. Like, that's an extra, basically 30% health just to start. Nice. I'll definitely take that every time. And now we're seeing characters become more situational. We're seeing their ability and need to be situational in their tactics, in their ultimate positions and timing, be more the impact of the game rather than just having the best character or the best ultimate. And I think that's going to make the competitive scene a lot more fruitful, a lot more engaging to watch. And that's just my opinion. I don't know what you have to think about that.
Jesus, what a sneaky guy.
What'd he do?
He was stood almost inside their base for ages, just waiting for his team to turn up. SexySavior, however, he's picking up a double kill on the back, looking for that triple as well onto Kami. Looks like they're just going to leave that for WeeabooJones to pick up as they turn their attention back to the all-important payload.
That payload just kind of not going anywhere right now, though. Really good defense coming out from WeeabooJones and squad, not able to push. Actually, no, that's not a defense. That's an attack, and they have done a great job of being able to push that. But Team Icy Black, you know, after doing so well, really want to make sure that this is stopped. Actually, I'm sorry. I am confusing everyone on Twitch. I apologize. WeeabooJones and squad are not on the attacking side. They are on the defensive side, so they are defending that payload.
I mean,
Icy Black trying to push it.
It's hard to tell with how aggressively far forwards they are right now, to be honest. Payload is actually rolling back towards the point. And mistake by Kami there, actually. He just jumped straight off for the kill and doesn't push it into overtime.
Yeah, it doesn't push it into overtime. A successful defense by Icy Gray. Icy Black still going ahead and winning and making this the last capture point they need to capture in order to win this first game. And it looks like they may be able to do so. What's that ooh about? What are you seeing?
KanSenpai popped his Tempest at the end there, it seems.
Ooh.
He doesn't have that up. It's 5 ultimates to 4. And the Tempest, that is such an important cooldown when, especially with this Grok, who is honestly such a big focus in this. You know, his kit isn't doing great. It's not that brilliant right now. It's all down to that ultimate, and he doesn't have it. He did pick up that morale boost, which I think is a great pickup for him, seeing as how important that is. But now all the ultimates are coming down. As the Hexafire does get blocked out by that Fernando, meat shielded away. Impacalypse, the first one to pick up a kill, finds the double, finds the triple. There's the quadra kill with the Mega Turret. Impacalypse goes off.
Impacalypse, what an impact that he is having on this game. Unbelievable plays, man. Quadra kills from that Mega Turret and just being so effective in his ability to position himself and just be, I mean, a dynamic point choke control there, especially with his turrets as well. Now, he is running the bunker build, so he doesn't have the double time coming out from there, but still able to pick up the quadra kill. Just incredible play from Impacalypse.
That's what I mean when we spoke about how it's so important to position this just as the Dragon Punch shaves right past again. Chisus picks up a triple kill. The Immortal will keep them alive on the point for a bit longer, but it doesn't matter. And that is Icy Black taking the game?
That is Icy Black taking this game. Impacalypse and squad doing a fantastic job to go ahead and put them one game up against Icy Gray. Now, this is our first time watching Icy Gray. We know Icy Black had some very good games against Zenith Black, who were just in the finals and actually lost, and now are going to be in the losers finals to face the winner of this. But in terms of Icy Gray, because we've talked about Icy Black, we know what they've been doing. We just saw the quadra kill coming out from Impacalypse, which was extremely impressive. Icy Gray, we haven't seen them. What did you like? What didn't you like? What do they need to change?
I loved that Drogos. It was less impactful towards the end of the game, despite missing all of those ultimates. I mean, that's really where it fell off, right? The Dragon Punches just were not connecting. And if they could have connected onto someone like KanSenpai, Chisus, Kami, could have connected onto any of those really important kills. But, you know, he was doing such an impact, so much damage, and a lot of kills towards the start of the game. Second half of the game, however, he started to fall off, and it's unfortunate to see.
Yeah, it is. It is. And you know, when you look at Cammy, who we found on Icy Black, and again, I'm pretty sure Icy is going to win this one, man. I don't know about you, Tattle, but I feel really strong about Icy. Yeah, Identity Crisis is going to come out on top here. I've seen Cammy with 65,000 damage on the Androxus, 18-9. I mean, we've seen some Androxus players go 9-13, 9-18. We've seen that kind of thing. Clearly, double the amount of kills that he has. His deaths, one of the lowest deaths on his team, tied for lowest with KanSenpai and Impacalypse. I mean, he had to have had a big impact in that game. Do you think he's going to be having as much of an impact as we switch maps?
I mean, I really do think so. The next map, of course, that'll be coming up, which is Temple Ruins. And we've seen Drogos do so well on that one as well, especially with the more open air space. A lot of Glacier Keep, especially like Igloo, that's a fine one to use because you have all of that open area above the point. It's still inside, but it's above the point. Whereas with mines, waterfalls, they have so many of these closed off corridors. Temple Ruins only has some of the inside areas around the central point. The rest of them, you know, we've got the canyon, so open, so good to use. The high ground use on the side by the temple, by the Serpent Temple. So much more room for this Drogos to work, but at the same time, so much more room for Cammy to work with on this Androxus.
So what you're saying is it could only get worse from here for Icy Gray.
I mean, it could only get worse. It could only get better at the same time, you know?
Right.
I don't know how much if you're the team losing. I mean,
well, if you're talking, I'm talking about Cammy here. Cammy just being so effective with the open spaces, he's going to be that much more effective potentially in this. Yeah. But again, as you mentioned, so is Drogos. So
it's going to be all about those mid-air fights.
Right, exactly. The mid-air battles, the struggles. We'll see what happens. I'm really interested to see this next game and how they do. We're going to be on Temple Ruins, so it will be a different map. We'll see how the teams change, if they do, and we'll see how the players adapt to the new situation. It's Icy versus Icy. I have a feeling Icy is going to come away the victor, but we'll have to see in this next game. So don't go anywhere. Stay in your seats, and we'll be back with Game 2 in just a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Paladins of the Realm, my champions, my friends. We are here in game 2 of this very exciting set versus Icy Black versus Icy Gray. And a lot of chat has been noticing that Icy will take the victory. We're just not sure which one will. Icy Black with the victory in the first round. Let's introduce the team, shall we? We've got KanSenpai for Icy Black on the Ruckus now. We've got Chisus onto the Eevee, Cammy onto the Androxus, Impacalypse onto Barrack, and Trillian onto the Pip, whereas on Cerevok on Icy Gray is on the Pip, SexySavior on the Ruckus, Dramamine on the Drogos, WeeabooJones on the Fernando, and RobFord onto the Barrack, as I'm joined with my co-caster here, Tattle. Go ahead and take him through this first blood there, going to KanSenpai.
KanSenpai picks that one on Dramamine and goes too aggressive. He goes inside those buildings. You know, I was talking about Drogos. He does so well on this map, apart from inside those buildings, and they start to take the lead. RobFord does return the kill right now, as actually they're just trying to get Chisus down from the top there. They do manage to snipe him out of the air, but they keep so much attention onto him that the advantage, that looks like it's going over to the side of Icy Black right now.
Yeah, Chisus apparently deciding to go off of the Ruckus, giving that over to KanSenpai, and KanSenpai taking no Grok this game. So an interesting change of lineup here, even though they won the last engagement. What do you think about that? I usually don't like to switch my teams if I'm winning. Things are working well, keep it going.
I mean, things are working well, keep them going, but as I was saying, I was talking earlier in it about it in chat. I mean, you can do the wrong thing but still win. It doesn't make it completely right. And you know, personally, I think this this Grok wasn't working as well as another pick could, and if there's another pick that will work as well, I definitely think it's this Eevee.
Well, so they're trading the Eevee for the Grok. So, I mean, what does that tell you with their intentions in this game? I mean, what are they really looking to do with that Eevee instead? As you obviously see the payload kind of just pushing out of the spawn point, but still getting trapped in probably the major, choke point right here, right where this gateway is before they get to their own bridge. What do you think the intention is with the Eevee?
It's all about those freezes right now. Chisus is getting them off, and he's getting great multiple freezes off as well with that frigid field build. As well as that, we're not seeing any resilience coming out from the other side onto Icy Gray, so they're not countering it at all right now. So it's just allowing, it's an enabler right now. Chisus isn't the one doing the most damage or the kills. He's just getting the freeze off. As soon as he does, Cammy rolls in, straight up in the face, he picks up the kill, and it's just really enabling Cammy to just go off on this game.
Yeah, we're seeing all Nimbles coming out. Actually, we're seeing Nimbles. We're seeing a lot of different things. We're seeing morale boost. We're increasing Barrack, who RobFord seems to like having his ultimate up as often as possible. So he's going morale boost to get that kicking for an extra 50% in terms of that recharge time. But we're not seeing any resiliences. Very strange. Maybe they don't want to get baited. Maybe that's what they're thinking. Also, you got to remember this is the first round, and so they do not have all of their credits from these, last engagements available typically.
First round, I just don't think they were expecting it, as this payload is so close right now. Triple chicken comes out, but there's no actual kills. But there goes the kill as well. The payload explodes and everyone just dies there. I can't even tell what happened.
The payload explodes and everyone just dies. I mean, that kind of sums it up right there. It's a 4-0 lead for the team Icy Black, and Icy Gray having some trouble here. I mean, if Icy Black wins this one, they're going ahead. And with a 4-0 sweep of the first point, it's not looking like Icy Gray's tactics are really able to combat against the Eevee. Maybe they were expecting the Grok. Maybe they're not expecting these freezes. She's on a 5 streak. Chisus is doing well.
They weren't expecting them before, I don't think, but they've been forced to pay attention to it now. We see 3 resilience pickups on the side of Icy Gray, as they know full well it's coming through. Chisus jumps in, Ice Block. He doesn't freeze anyone, of course. Dragon Punch tries to chase him in mid-air, but that's not going to work, as Dramamine not able to connect to that again. And the side of Icy Black, they start clearing up on the side. Cammy finds his kill. He gets returned. Icy Black currently control the point, but Icy Gray, they're making their move.
Now, here's the interesting thing about it, because the fight is still going on, but as you saw, Impacalypse and squad on Icy Black had the point pressure. Although they had both 2 team members down, Icy Black had the point pressure and were able to gain some points and force Icy Gray to come into some dangerous territories, expose themselves behind the corridors because they had to aggress onto the point. Now, what that means is they can stagger their offense, and that gives Icy Black an opportunity to pick them off. And so when you have this point pressure, even if you lost a couple men, forcing the enemy team to come through those open areas, try to kill you can be a huge advantage for your team if you're able to coordinate your damage and pick them off as they're
going to be hard for Icy Black coming into this as well. All the ultimates ready. There's the Mega Turret deployed already by the side of Icy Black. They're trying to take control, keep it in their favor right now. She's Icy Grey who are keeping this one. Cerevok finds the kill, as well as SexySavior. Icy Grey, they take the point, and they start to push through with this payload. 2 ultimates still up and ready. Actually, 3. Almost a 4th onto SexySavior, as they're now taking a great comeback advantage.
Yeah, and you know what? Listen, here's the thing that I find a little strange. I mean, the little bit for me is the fact that Fernando, WeeabooJones, has a Cauterize, which I would find Gather to be a little bit more effective use of credits for him because he can stay in the fight that much longer and use his big body to go ahead and bully some of these characters. You know, a nice evil mojo coming out from Pip, so I'll hold that thought as SexySavior gets the double kill, however, and Kami goes ahead and takes down SexySavior. But talk about this Cauterize. I mean, usually we're seeing Gather now kind of being meta on the bigger characters that, you know, a 30% health pickup from that card means a huge difference to Fernando versus a Pip. So why are we seeing Cauterize instead?
I find this Cauterize a bit strange because there isn't much healing on the side of both teams, actually. You know, you only have the healing flask coming out from the Pip. There is not too much actually going on. So, you know, I think...
Yeah, I'm befuddled too, man.
I think Gather would just be a better pickup at this point.
Yeah, it's only 100 credits. It's really easy to do and helps him so much in his sustain and being able to chase down the backline fights. Nice ultimate there from Dramamine, though. Wicked taking down Impacalypse. KanSenpai answers, however, onto Dramamine, but WeeabooJones gets the kill onto Chisus, and SexySavior kills KanSenpai. Trillion taking down SexySavior as well, but the payload will be pushed as the advantage now is in the favor of Team Icy Grey, actually, as they're taking this over to the base of Icy Black, hoping to even this game up 4-4. Look at this play, man. That was a huge Dragon Punch over. That was nice to see.
Great Dragon Punch. I love seeing the Drogos fly up in the air and then start the Dragon Punch and just hunt down their enemy from above, you know. It's so much harder to stay on the ground. It's so much easier at the same time to just drive along the ground, but it's a lot easier to be counted out. So it's great to see players like that go up in the air, start charging that Dragon Punch, and just fly down on their enemy.
Yeah, amazing. And now the team from Icy Black able to go ahead and regather, get themselves in a position to stop this push. Although the Fernando is here with WeeabooJones, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do much with 4 members of Team Icy Black firing on him, taking the shield down. He's really got very little options now. He's pretty much gone down to KanSenpai, who's got a double kill here. KanSenpai already on a 4 streak and trying to make it a few more to push this defense back, and it is a failed defense. That's 1 more point on the way of Icy Black.
Icy Black, they're going to be coming into this one with a slight advantage now on the ultimates coming into this. There are only 2 ultimates up, almost going to be 4 on the side of Icy Black once they reach the Icy Grey, once they reach the point. Icy Black, however, they're looking at almost 5 ultimates coming into this next fight.
Yeah, I see ultimates, to be honest. I see ultimates incoming.
Oh, man, that was... it took me a moment to catch that one.
He was like, what? What are you talking about? We got another IC team in here? Like, IC ultimates in the next round? What's going on? No, yeah.
IC Ultimate is the combination of all of the IC teams. They just form together to...
Like Gogeta.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or Gotenks, which I never...
Or Power Rangers. You just form up all of the moments,
all
the mechas, and just go for it, man.
Yeah, that was my childhood here. And you'll see the aggression here onto the point capture. WeeabooJones doing a good job of holding it off. Trillion trying to back him away as well, but the fire's coming out, forcing him off the point. Jogo's jumping into the air with those blasters, trying to shoot him down, chasing Pip off the point, which is great. Trillion not going to be able to get that area damage, which is so important for him, although Dramamine pays for that pursuing because he does get taken down by Trillion as well. Let's see who kind of flips the switch here. Do you think any advantage going either team? I mean, what are you seeing come be the result of this point capture at this point?
Really going in favor of Icy Grey in this one as they actually take that last field. KanSenpai doing the work, however, to pull it back. There's the freeze from Chisus. That's doing so much work this game from the side of Icy Black. It's just enabling all of their team to just keep them in this. Is that an Expectorate build on Dramamine? Oh, it is. It's Decimate.
Yeah, so walk us through that, Tattle, because you noticed that we're seeing these knockbacks send players like back to yesteryear. What's up with that? What's Decimate?
So Decimate as a card, it increases the distance that you knock back enemies with your Expectorate, which is your spit. When you fire at your spit and make it explode early, you launch the players near it back and deal damage. Expectorate causes that launch to be 400 yards more, I think, and it's just making these players go flying right now.
Yeah, it's nasty, and it's doing a lot of work here. You see the emitter force on the left-hand side. There's a little bit of a side battle going between the Ruckus and Kami here, the Androxus on Team Icy Black. They are doing a good job of keeping the high ground, but Ruckus is not as effective as Pip would be on that high ground as well. Trillian actually on the side of Icy Black on the low ground, trying to push with his teammates and actually secure a kill of the Fernando who's running to the back line. And so they're just basically chasing down, trying to get the team advantage, the numbers advantage here.
Dragon Punch coming out right now, is charging up, trying to find the kill. Almost finds it, chases him down, but charges right past. Chisus is taken down by WeeabooJones as it looked like Icy Gray starting to regain control of this payload and hold it down. Great kill there onto Kami, but KanSenpai, he's charging up the ult. He gets RobFord, the shield isn't there in time. They're trying to keep him away from this payload, trying to burn him down. KanSenpai chasing down Dramamine. He'll find that one at least. Does keep himself alive as Pitch chasing down for the kill. Emitter, not enough to keep him up, however, but a lot of damage done by him.
And what he does is he allows Trillian and Impacalypse, as well as Cammy, to go ahead and push the payload out of that initial part of the choke point, which I said one of the hardest areas to play in this map, Temple Ruins. You got to get past this door because it's just so easy. You have to run through it. You have to escort the payload. So you're basically a corridor, an easy door you have to pass that you can just throw all your damage in. So once you get past that, it's pretty much easy going in terms of the next choke point you have to go ahead and aggress on.
Exafire by SexySavior. That picks up a double kill straight away. Chisus, the sniper shots on the Eevee, picks up at least one. Doesn't get the freeze off, and now he's in trouble as well. Does manage to wormhole back. The payload is pushing slightly forwards all the while. And this is where this Decimate build can come in handy for the side of Icy Black. If you can knock them away from the payload, as overtime goes through, you can cancel that out completely. Icy Black, they've regained control. Icy Gray, they've regained control for now. Looking to try and get back on this. 10 seconds remaining, but I think the Expectorate was already used a bit early. I don't think they'll be able to knock this off. They'll have to try and find the kills. Kami needs to stay on it. Expectorate, there it goes. 1 second, they get back on it in time to push it into overtime. Slightly too early on that one. Icy Black, they're trying to do what they can to push this one forwards. Mega Turret is popped. That takes out Dramamine in air. He's sniped down. RobFord and the rest of the team trying to make it back. WeeabooJones on the point. Trillian picks up a kill. Weeaboo returns it. Trillian with the double kill. He's trying to do what he can, trying to find the Trillian triple kill right now onto WeeabooJones. The Barrack on the top, trying to help out. Now comes Dramamine. He's back into things to help his team out on this one. Overtime still taking. There's the Dragon Punch onto Kami. They take him down. Exafire coming out from KanSenpai, trying to take this one overtime into the point. Immortal popped, and this fight is still going on. WeeabooJones finds the kill. They're trying to get the last one. Impacalypse, here goes down, and that is a great hold from Icy Gray.
What a defense there by Icy Gray. Just a fantastic hold. And also, I mean, let's talk about that Dramamine Dragon Punch snipe. I mean, that was looking amazing. Dude, that was absolutely stunning what we just saw. From midair, going all the way down onto the Androxus from behind, and getting out such a vital mobile character that was so hard for them to get out of that fight. I mean, WeeabooJones did a great job of stalling there as the Fernando to help his teammates to get back into this fight after the spawn camp. But you just saw that Dragon Punch being so effective, just getting a player out. And he got out Kami nonetheless, and that was a huge turning point in that. Great defense by Icy.
Kami, such a pivotal player in these fights. He gets taken down. That was almost vertically down as well. That's what I loved about that Dragon Punch, just going straight down. That's actually really hard to do. As we actually move into this next fight, Chicken is popped. No kills coming out just yet as they're trying to find the damage in the first frag, and it will go over to Kami in this one.
Yeah, Cammy getting the kill, as well as WeeabooJones onto Trillian. A little bit of a fight between Drogos there and the Fernando, actually, but Dramamine gets the better of Ruckus in that scenario, takes the kill. He's still alive, actually blasts away with the Expectorate onto Chisus and turns her back into the base and gives her some time to respawn and think about that decision of going against the dragon as a Winter Witch. But it looks like WeeabooJones takes the kill onto Impacalypse. A little bit of a slow moment here as both teams are respawning, trying to get back for the second engagement of this fight. All the while, it looks like we've got Impacalypse. Actually, no. We have RobFord on the point.
Mega Turret was popped on the point, and that's going to wipe KanSenpai out straight away. Cammy getting the reflect off on most of that damage. Freeze comes on. Chisus is going to contest the point for now. 97. All of IC Black trying to stay on. Cerevok picks up the double kill. WeeabooJones picks up Cammy in the back. And that's going to be IC Gray picking it up.
IC Gray making the comebacks here. This could tie the game if they get this point push, and this is probably, I would say, an easier route to take because they're not going to be going through the door. They're going to be going through a little bit more of open space, although they will have the ability for, I think Impacalypse and Trillian to set up on this ledge here from the castle to kind of weigh down on them, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if they keep getting taken out. Trillian, though, getting taken out by SexySavior. WeeabooJones taking out Chisus. This payload is still pushing pretty well. This is going to be their hardest point right here, getting past this choke point.
Yeah, and they know it. IC Black, they push forwards very far to try and halt it.
Right.
The rest of IC Grey, they realize this. They turn around, wipe them out instantly. Cammy and Impacalypse, they go down. KanSenpai as well falls trying to get away with the hover. Chisus goes in to try and stall them, but he's just not on the mark with that one. And the payload already almost in through the base. IC Grey are all over Black right now.
Yeah, and it's important that they do not stagger their offense here. It may seem so close, but it could be really far if they just lose one. And it looks like they are going down a little bit, but not on the side of IC Black. It's actually on the side of IC Gray that two members are being taken down. So IC Black doing their job at holding effectively here what they need to do. WeeabooJones still alive, taking down Chisus, but Trillian comes in on the back line as well to support his man, his Fernando, that front line tank and damage dealer with that fire and holding this payload for just a moment. There's 49 seconds, and again, the re-engagement coming out from Team IC Gray, trying to push this in, tie the game at 7-7, and make the next capture point the decision between whether this game goes on to another game or it's over and IC Black take it. The mega turret is popped by Impacalypse. He's trying to stop this by all means necessary, but the mega turret gets taken down, and the Expectorate from Drogos comes down as well. This is incredible, but Dramamine gets taken down by Kami. He's still alive, and so is 4 members. Actually make that 3 members of Team IC Black, and IC Gray are so close, and the defense fails. It's tied, Tattle. We're going to a final capture point to determine whether this game is over or we're playing another game.
RobFord with the triple kill mega turret. The mega turret on the side of IC Black almost all blocked out by a great immortal from WeeabooJones. And this guy, WeeabooJones, he is on fire. He's going full on Goku right now. He just doesn't even care. 21 streak. I think it was mentioned that he was immortal or something earlier on. I think it was Savage actually, just going off on it right now. Great use of ultimates, great support of his team, and just wiping them out. Just an unstoppable Fernando force right now.
Oh, man, and it all comes down to this. A huge flank, however, coming out from Team IC Gray. They want to get the flank. Impacalypse already getting some points for his team. 9 points, 12 points as well, as this flank is taking time. Is this the right strategy? Because if they lose one here on this flank, it could be GG because they've already got Impacalypse sitting on the point. However, they look to try and contest it. A Hexafire does come out from the enemy Ruckus, which is SexySavior, trying to get some damage, but it's not enough. Who's going to take it off? Impacalypse forced off the point, and now IC Gray has a little bit of an advantage.
IC Gray with a slight advantage as Weeaboo and Dramamine pick up the kills. Cerevok, he goes too aggressive. He gets taken down. KanSenpai, however, he starts to fall. Impacalypse picked up by Dramamine. He's doing all the work. He still has his ultimate up as well. And this looks like it could be the fight to end it all. They're going to pick up the kill as well onto, I think that is Trillian. Oh, yes, Trillian. Trillian goes down too, and now they just need to zone them away from this point. And I think Dramamine knows that. He's going to get ready to pop that Dragon Punch when he needs it. Chisus trying to cause some Chaos in the back. The rest of the team getting in. 93. I don't know if anyone will make it in time. Chisus goes in. He gets the freeze. In comes Impacalypse. Chisus gets taken down. Impacalypse down as well. It's just KanSenpai left. Expectorate knocks them off, and that's the point.
Yo, what a play. What a game by Icy Gray to go ahead and take this round and put it into a game 3. We're going to be going into another set. We're going to be playing on the Enchanted Forest. This was a heck of a match to be able to commentate and watch for you viewers at home. I mean, this had to be one of the hyper games of the afternoon, the evening, the morning, wherever you are watching internationally, of course. This was just amazing to see. We saw Icy Black take the first game. We saw Icy Gray come back with just incredible plays, these incredible pushes, these long-lasting engagements that could have gone either way, but they went the way of Gray. Icy Gray, to be in fact. What do you see, Tattle, that just showed up for you as a huge game changer for Team Icy Gray to take this game and push it to a third set, or a third game?
That scoreboard just come back all over the place. Look at the damage difference. Icy Black, 92k, 89k, and they were the ones who lost in the end. Icy Gray with such a strong comeback there at the end. They only had 67, 65k across the board, but they were just getting the picks that they needed to. The Dragon Punch by Dramamine doing so much work there at the end. Really carrying them through. You know, he's not doing all of the damage. He's not really doing as much as Icy Black, but it doesn't matter. In the game, they find the picks that they need. They're not getting them all across the game with that lead, but they find that pivotal turning moment, turn it around, and despite being behind all game, despite being behind in stats, they take the game.
I mean, 92,000 damage. 92,000 damage on an Undrock. I mean, that is impeccably strong. Trillian bringing in the 89,000 as well. But what can you say about a 26 streak from WeeabooJones? The guy just didn't die. I mean, look at this. Look at these deaths. 15, 18, 24, 18, 16, 7, 19, 17, 18, 20, 7. This guy could not be killed. A 26 streak. You have to deal with this Fernando. Icy Gray is going to run the table if they do not get this Fernando dealt with, because Icy Black, I mean, they just could not have an answer for this guy. He was alive too long. 74,000 shielding. I mean, 46,000 damage. All around MVP for me.
You know what is the answer to that?
What?
Drogos. Straight up. You get that Dragon Punch, you hit that Fernando. It doesn't care how much of a meat shield it is. He will die just like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he will. He will. And that's the thing. I mean, as Drogos, you need to be able to focus your targets on that Dragon Punch. Again, that's the difficulty with Drogos, right? He's this kind of character that can be a hyper carry. He could do a ton of area damage. He has a lot of mobility, but he also has this ability to change the game based on the player's skill with him. That ultimate needs to be hit, and it needs to be hit on the right target. We saw him hit it onto Cammy, and that changed a possession, allowing them to go ahead and use it correctly. But now we're seeing that the enemy team has no counter to that Fernando. And we may see, instead of Chisus picking up that Eevee again, although we saw he felt a little comfortable, he may go with the Drogos this time. But I don't know. Would you like to see the Grok come back? I mean, didn't Team Icy Black look a little bit more in control with the Grok? Get KanSenpai back on that Grok, put Chisus back on that Ruckus? What do you think?
Honestly, I think KanSenpai had a lot more impact on Ruckus than he did with Grok. He was actually doing a great job that game. 24 deaths, he's being a bit too aggressive. You know, he doesn't have that ghost walk. He can't just ghost walk out of that. So a bit too aggressive from him, but still really well played by him. I think a lot bigger of impact than Grok. It wasn't a game-turning Tempest, but those Hexafires were coming out really strong. Jesus was doing a good job with that Freeze Eevee as well.
Yeah, he is. He is. And I mean, I think they're both teams having success in their different areas. We just have to see which success is going to be the best here as IC take on IC for this is the IC competitive Paladins right now. That's what I'm seeing. This is an exciting match. We're going to game 3. Really only one IC is going to win we know one is going to come out the victor. So Identity Crisis, congratulations. But whether it's going to be black or gray, we'll have to see next match. Guys, stay tuned. Stay right where you are. We'll see if Team Icy Black make an adjustment after winning the first game or losing the second. And we'll see if Icy Gray can go ahead and keep up with this incredible WeeabooJones play, as well as all of the other members there, Dramamine with those expectorates, and be as effective as they were in game 2 to take game 3 and put themselves in the losers finals against Ian Black. We'll have all that in just a moment, so stay where you are, and we'll be back very soon. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, paladins and champions of the realm. My name is Randy. Joined with me today is my co-commentator, Tattle, and we'll be taking you through this game 3 of a very exciting, very interesting set between, the teams that have pretty much become paladins famous right now. Icy Gray and Icy Black. We've got Identity Crisis Black on the right-hand side. So on the left-hand side, we've got Identity Crisis Gray. That's Dramamine running the Drogo, Cerevok onto the Pip, SexySavior on Ruckus. We've got WeeabooJones onto Fernando, which I hear is Tattle in disguise. We've also got RobFord as Barrack. And on the other side, on Icy Black, we've got KanSenpai on Kinessa, Chisus onto the Ruckus, Cammy onto Androxus, Impacalypse on the Barrack, and Trillian onto the Pip.
And we've got this Kinessa pick coming out from KanSenpai, which I think could be great on this map, but it doesn't seem to work out on this first point for sure, as the kills going in favor of Icy Gray right now. They wipe them all out, take them down, and it's just Trillian left running for the hills.
Oh yeah, Trillian is just off and back to the base there as RobFord and squad look to really go ahead and secure the momentum that they've kept over this last game. They won, Icy Black winning the first game, Icy Gray coming back and doing really well, just changing the momentum, winning game 2 pretty convincingly actually at the end, and then all of a sudden taking a commanding lead in this first capture point against Icy Black. The turret, however, is set up by Barrack. He rocket boots down to contest the point, which is at 90, to make sure that they do not get that extra point that will secure it, but it looks like that was to no avail. He's dead, and it looks like Icy Gray will see themselves getting this first capture point in the game. 2-0 start for Icy Gray, looking good.
I don't think I didn't notice that. Don't think I didn't notice.
What? I'm not being very punny, man. I've got other
things
to bring out.
No one's seeing Cammy on this. Androxus just hiding away in this bush right now. Gonna come up from behind, see if he can get a flank or make it back to his teammates. Right now, behind SexySavior, dashing back, trying to pick up the kill. Does find Cerevok, sneaky Androxus in the backline. Cammy, work already on this pick.
Oh yeah, Cammy already doing a very good job with the Androxus on a 2 streak now. It's got the ultimate available, so look for that accursed arm to be shown up pretty soon, and looks like we've gone into a pause, right? Mid-pip throw there. So anyways, Tattle, let's talk about this. There's some changes. We've seen KanSenpai adjust again. Chisus is now on the Ruckus. So he was on another character prior. He's now on the Ruckus. We saw KanSenpai on the Ruckus last game. Now KanSenpai on the Kinessa. What do you think about that?
We're seeing Chisus go back to the Ruckus. He wasn't on the last game, of course, with the Eevee, but he was on it the game before the first game, actually, when we had KanSenpai on that Grok pick. Now we're seeing him go back to that Ruckus, so it's not him bringing out a new pick here, so we don't have to worry about whether he is proficient with this one. KanSenpai, though, that is his 3rd character in 3 games. He is really showing some flex here. If he can make this work, we saw last game, KanSenpai, he was playing that Ruckus and doing a pretty good job with it after coming from that Grok pick. Now he's switching onto that Kinessa, seeing if he can make that work. And, with this map, I really think he could. There are a great line of sights. There's a lot of open space. And the difference between this map and Temple Ruins, which are stylistically very similar right now with the changes that have come through. There is a lot more open space and distance between the payload coming into the base, and there is a lot to cover, and that's the big one. There is so little cover for people to hide behind to dodge this Kinessa. So KanSenpai, he's just going to be able to make these snipes.
Yeah, we'd probably see, I think, Kinessa be the most effective on the Enchanted Forest because of, like you mentioned, the open areas. The ability for her to just cleanly snipe other characters. SexySavior looks like he was just standing still in the bushes. Can't tell if he was had some internet problems right there, but he just got sniped to the face without really moving back and forth. Not something we typically see. Either way, credit goes to KanSenpai for the kill, who's now on a 3 streak, so feeling like he's showing some yeah, is it
Dragon Punch? Me, like, that was hilarious to watch from a distance. I was just zoomed out, and all I could see was Dramamine charge up the Dragon Punch in a bush. Cammy runs straight towards him, just firing away, and it just pop goes the Weasel straight out. Cammy gets to Dragon to the face, and he just stays.
Yeah, you got to keep that for like a hype moment, man. You know, as a Dragon Punch comes out and pop goes the Weasel, takes him down. I feel like that's like a great hype moment. You got to keep that in the back pocket. So it looks like this payload is staying where it is right now, inching a little bit farther back away from Team IC Black's base, who are trying to defend very well. Of course, Kanessa, we see just doing work there on all of these teammates. Chisus getting a double kill onto Dramamine and Cerevok, and just showcasing how well Kanessa still and always has seemed to be in terms of a defensive payload pick. Very strong there.
Yeah.
What we don't see her show up is the capture points, but let's see if KanSenpai can show his flexibility, his roster potential, by making her still useful in this open Enchanted Forest map.
Especially on this right side, there is so much more space. Left side, less so on the side of the village rather than the fishing port. But KanSenpai doing great work right now. We've picked up a triple earlier. A lot of kills picked up there as well. I feel like we can't even say I see anything anymore.
Right.
We're not allowed to see anything. It just becomes too much of an accidental pun at this point during this series.
Now, are we seeing one of the characters here be a little disconnected? Is that what's happening? Is the Drogos disconnected?
I think
I don't
there was
know
a disconnect due to the pause. So we saw earlier there's a bit of an issue with unpausing sometimes causing a crash in itself. And so we'll see pauses come back out due to that. I think that's what's happened here. And just to clarify that, of course, you only get one pause each during a series, but if you do crash due to the pauses, admins, so far we're allowing that to not count as one. It would be a bit unfair if you weren't allowed to pause from the pause itself.
Well, I think the whole goal is to make a competitive environment, correct? So,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if it's a crash, I mean, it's not something people are just spamming to, I don't know, buy time or just, you know, give them an advance.
It's all about
prepare.
It's all about this rule allowing it to not allowing the teams to have a chance in case there are bugs or crashes. You know, it is still a beta form game. You know, it's become a lot more polished recently, a lot less bugs since the early days. I remember CB12. Those were the good old days back in competitive back then. But you know, still allowing for some room of bugs and crashes, but at the same time, it is so easy for a team to come in and just abuse that pause rule without the systems being in place right now, unfortunately. So, you know, that's in there just in case.
Right. Well, you know, enough of this logistical, technical stuff. We've still got some time, and this gives us a lot of time to discuss interesting things. So one of the things that I always find interesting is champion balance, right? And you see all these different maps, and you see certain characters getting brought out in these maps, like Kanessa being very favored in these open engagement maps. We actually saw Kanessa brought out in Glacial Keep and not in Temple Ruins, and you were like, what? Why would you have the Glacial Keep? That's a lot closer in. But we're not seeing a couple characters, Tattle. We're not seeing Sky. We're not seeing Buck. You know, we're not seeing Ying, and she's the newest character, one of the newest characters, and I'm a little disappointed in that. I'd love to see some of these characters getting some love. Why do you think we're not seeing these characters right now?
I think so. Buck, actually, to be honest, in my opinion, is actually pretty viable right now.
We saw him in EU, right?
Yeah, we saw a couple of games with him in EU. He did get swapped out for a Cassie, which again was great to see and see how viable she was. But he's really good right now, especially when you combo him and pair him together with Fernando. The backline diving potential you just have is just an unstoppable force as you just roll through the enemy team. And of course, there is a counterplay there. People taking things like Quarterfinals, countering out that healing sustain that Buck has and shutting him down. Right. And then, of course, we've got people like, we've got characters like Ying. We don't see her in play it very often. We did see week 2, Death and Taxes picked up Ying during their best of finals game in the EU side. Best of 5 finals on EU for the second week of the qualifiers. And, you know, it looked a bit more like, you know, a pub pick. You know, they were very confident at that point in the series, and they brought out that Ying just to looks more like they were styling on their opponents.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it worked out extremely well. And, you know, Bird has been known to play that Ying in pubs especially, and is very practiced on it. So when we come into these playoffs next week, there are some questions like, will Ying be played? Will that
Right.
be their pocket pick?
Right. And I think what Paladins can do really amazingly now that you have the different maps being rotated and adjusted to, right, by each of the teams, is that you can then you know, create like characters that specialize in certain areas. And I think that's always been their goal. I think that's what they're attempting to do, and I think they're doing very well. I think obviously every game or anything can have, you know, things they do a little better and things that they, you know, are need to improve on. But I would love to be able to see either the maps that get brought out or the character dynamics get brought out and kind of hyper specialized so that
Yeah.
you can really say, yes, Ying on Enchanted Ruins or Enchanted Forest, gotta, like, she's a great pick there. Maybe not the best pick on Glacial Keep, but you gotta pick her
And,
on Enchanted. You know what I mean? And so
and
that
you know,
there's a
that's
reason
what
rather
we've
than
been
just
seeing
picking
this week,
the
and
same
it's
five, you know?
so good to see this week. You know, this week was the first week they're bringing in map picks now. With well, not map picks, they're bringing the map rotation. So before, of course,
Hmm.
we've been playing Glacier Keep on every single week up until now, and you know, teams, that was the only map they were able to play. This week with the latest patch, teams are able to play all three of the maps in challenge mode, and so we've now got this cycle of this map rotation in place. So of course, you'll start on Glacier Keep, teams will be back onto their good old map there, and back to their well-known home for the past few weeks, and then you'll move into Temple Ruins for the second map, which I think has been a great second map. It's changed a lot. They adapted the map, made it a lot smaller, maybe a
Right.
bit too small, but I like the
Right.
way it feels in the pacing
Hmm.
and how it's laid out. So they moved that into the second map, and a big reason I think I love that as the second map as well is that teams have not played on Temple Ruins for almost 2 months now. That has
Wow.
been
Wow.
out of the challenge mode since back maybe CB16 or CB17. It has been
Wow.
gone for a long time, and so teams.
That's to be fair, Tattle. That's only like 3 days though. Paladins patch time. I mean, that's like, see, we get like 8 patches a week, man. Come on, that's like
Yeah.
not that far in the back.
But it just means teams have had this past week to not only they've had to prioritize at this point, right? You know, you can improve your Glacier Keep, which I think most teams, you know, they're comfortable in Glacier Keep right now. So, you know, they're not completely losing what they've learned and improved upon the past few weeks when they're coming into this week. So, you know, I'm assuming most teams, they sat there and thought to themselves, right, we don't need to play any more Glacier Keep right now. What do we focus on? You've got Enchanted Forest or you've got Temple Ruins. And see, a lot of the teams, they're looking straight away. They're just like, right, let's focus on Temple Ruins. We can win the second game. Of course, we'll take the 2-0 series. What I think is interesting, though, is, you know, there are some teams that fare a lot better on this kind of map, such as, you know, Team Cubed in EU. They come from a style where Enchanted Forest is a lot better for their favor, and so they might want to focus less on Temple Ruins and more on this Enchanted Forest and learn more about
Right.
the positioning, the plays, and you know, the strategies that really work on this map. And we're seeing as well the meta start to evolve around these maps. We saw yesterday with EU a lot of Cassie picks and Kanessa, especially on Temple Ruins. We've not seen any Cassie yet today, but I'd be interested to see if it comes out.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see it as well. I love Cassie personally. I just did a video on her. I mean, on my channel, I absolutely love her as one of my favorite characters in the game. So I'm a little sad not to see her getting any love. But Team WeeabooJones and Icy Gray sticking together like a wolf pack here, going around for the flank. And let's see if it turns out. Immediately we see SexySavior actually, yeah, jump up. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it's Dramamine. Jump up into the air and get that salvo off and expectorate onto the Kanessa. She is just getting exploded there onto by the Drogos, and that is just a disgustingly good use of the expectorate, just putting her into the air. She's not going to be able to snipe you there, and basically just eliminating her. A very successful flank so far by Team Icy Gray, and now they're going to get point control.
And this is what this Kinessa will struggle with on point control. Flanks especially, because you're set up in the back, right? Your team go in the front line. They're not going to face anyone at all. The team's coming towards your backline. KanSenpai gets shut down again. And Dramamine, if there's anyone to do it, he's the perfect one. A full salvo. He's already on, I think he's already on a full streak right now, as he's picked up his 4th kill already on this next point fight. He's doing a great job right now. But Cammy, he's the one to watch. He's the one picking up the kills from IC Black. But it doesn't seem to be enough. WeeabooJones shutting him down and picking up a double. Are we going to see this terrifying Fernando streak again?
Oh, boy. Well, it's already 3, but look at Dramamine and SexySavior. They've got 7 each to their name. So I'd be watching out for that Ruckus. And now who's got 8? And that Drogos with the ability to maneuver the way they can. And now, oh my God, a Dragon Punch coming out from Dramamine, taking Chisus down, making him go ahead and try and resurrect himself back into base. But that's not going to be very effective because now he's got a 2-man advantage after Dramamine takes down Cammy. And make that a 3-man with SexySavior taking down Impacalypse while they're pushing this payload. What a play. Just changing the game. And what a hard angle to hit that at. He was at the top of that rock.
Dragon Punch around the trees, threads the needle, and hits the Ruckus straight into the tree, wraps him around him, and just completely knocks him out. Dramamine finally gets taken down. Chisus finds that revenge kill for that nasty ult that came through. But right now, great fights coming through. Megaturret comes out. WeeabooJones trying to do what he can, but he's got damage coming from both directions. Trying to survive on this one. KanSenpai with the snipe from downtown takes him out.
And this is their problem. If they didn't win and they didn't push far enough on this initial, point possession, they are now going to have to face a fully ready IC Black, and that is the problem for them because KanSenpai on that Kinessa is going to be set up in the back line. We're ready to hit all of these players who run through these channels and are exposed. WeeabooJones is shooting turrets. I mean, he's got to deal with the Kinessa snipe as well. It's very dangerous right now. This defense could be very strong.
This is where Cassie would have done so much better, right? She still provides that extreme range that we see with Kinessa. Not as far, but still extremely long range to allow you to use these distances to your advantage against a lot of the shorter range champions, especially Fernando. You have the disengage to hit Fernando. Oh, actually,
huge.
That shot was disgusting. KanSenpai mid-air shot on Dramamine during the boost. That was pretty harsh to watch right now. But you have that Cassie, and the thing is you are not completely useless on the point fight. You still have combat ability because you are more mobile and you can fire away faster.
Well, I think simply just having Blast Shower, I mean, that simply makes more of an impact than Kinessa will ever have on an actual point fight. Even if you get that snipe, I mean, being able to knock 3, 4, 5, whoever is standing on that point back up to 1,200 yards with Megaton 4 is a huge advantage, and especially being able to shoot that consistent damage from range, the disengages as well. If you're a good Cassie player, you could just be knocking people left and right, life stealing as well onto that. Very hard to catch up to. I would love to see Cassie.
I tell you what, great play though. Dramamine, he went aggressive and took out KanSenpai, and they didn't have the Kinessa there anymore. Megaturret was popped on the point. The payload inches away right now as the teams fight 5v5. There's the first trace. Cammy goes for a double kill. Chisus picks up one. There goes the loop-de-loop with the Dragon Punch. Not going to find it. Being sniped out of the air as well. Cammy finds the triple kill. WeeabooJones comes in just in time to tick it back over to overtime, but Chisus finds that, cancels it out. He finds the double kill, and if defense comes through, despite the best efforts of IC Gray.
IC Gray trying to see themselves on the way to victory, but so far IC Black have something to say about that. 4 of those members on that team are on a 4-kill streak, and it's looking like they're only going to get a little stronger as the burn cards do come out, making some very, I would say, kind of meta choices here. We're seeing a lot of Nimbles picked up, and we're also seeing a Resilience, a few Blast Shields, and a couple Wreckers, 3 to be in fact, on the side of Team IC Black. Now, on this side of Team IC Gray, anything stand out in terms of burn cards for you?
It's SexySavier's gone for this reload speed, deft hands, which
that's interesting.
Is pretty interesting. I mean, Dramamine taking it as well makes a bit of sense because you have that reload. After you use the salvo, it's important to get it. And there we go, actually. Right now, he's chasing straight onto on KanSenpai, just charging him down, keeping him busy. But it allows you to reload fast after the salvo, which makes sense. A bit odd on the Ruckus, but whilst that's all going on, Cammy on Icy Black, they're able to pick up the kills. There goes the chicken and the cursed arm, but it doesn't matter. RobFord with the mega turret, he gets shot out of the sky. Dramamine does come in and pick up a kill of his own as well. Icy Grey, they taking the advantage on the point so far, despite allowing this Kinessa now to sit back and set up.
Icy Grey doing a fantastic job of stealing back some of the momentum that was taken from them after a successful defense from Icy Black, looking to capture this point with 64-21 advantage going for their team. Now, obviously, Icy Black is not going to do just nothing. They have something to say about that, and especially the Kinessa from KanSenpai looking to get the kill, and he does on the Cerevok as well. WeeabooJones getting the kill on the Chisus, and Kami, however, getting it back onto WeeabooJones.
Dramamine back onto KanSenpai though, trying to do what he can. You know, he knows that's the target they need to take down. The moment they didn't, they lose the fight. He finds that kill. Dragon Punch is getting set off the wall. Good dodge, Matador away. Cammy with the suede shoes gets out of the way from the danger coming through there. Dramamine in trouble now. Hexafire coming through somewhere on the point, and it is just chaos right now.
Excellent, absolutely excellent dodge there, and it looks like they're able to go ahead and take down the Drogo's Dramamine on the side of Icy Grey, but it doesn't matter because RobFord is still there holding down the point. An emitter comes up from the Ruckus. SexySavior, actually no, that was Chisus on the side of Icy Black, and Icy Grey looking real strong right now, Tattle. I mean, this could be their turning point in this game. They got 2 points there, and if they get another objective push, it's going to be 8-2, and it's going to pretty much be GG.
Cammy is trying his hardest. Props to this guy, trying so hard to carry them through. KanSenpai is now starting to really show up as well on this Kinessa, but I mean, how much can he really do at this point? They're trying all they can. KanSenpai and Trillium picking up kills. Cammy gets taken down for being too over-aggressive. And it is so rough for the side of Icy Black right now. They have these hyper carries. They've got this Cammy on Androxus, but they have their other carry, KanSenpai. You know, he's their flex pick. He's going for what the team needs. This Kinessa is what they need, but he's being shut down by Dramamine time and time again.
Yeah, Dramamine is not giving that Kinessa or that Pip any rest. I mean, Dramamine was in their base. I mean, the payload was basically near. Nice. Was that a cursed arm?
A cursed arm by Cammy picks up SexySavior, but now he's in trouble. Only finds 1 kill from that ultimate, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely worthwhile, though, to get that kill. Anything right now will help to stop this push of the payload, which is just being escorted so well by RobFord, and he's still, you know what, RobFord, very close. He does have his mega turret. This is going to be a hard one. With the Immortal as well coming out from WeeabooJones, they're going to have to do a lot here.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and get in. It's Kinessa, the only one who's really left to go on the payload. That's not ideal. Double kill for Cerevok with the chicken, trying to find the triple. Hexafire's coming out, but there's a great Immortal from WeeabooJones, and the payload goes through. Icy Grey take another point.
Icy Grey 1 point away from seeing themselves into the losers finals with a chance at Zenith Black being able to go ahead with the winner of that game and take on Ronin, who feel like they've been waiting for a little bit here. And obviously that's a little bit of a dynamic we'll touch on when we get to the finals, but it's all about this next point capture for Icy Grey as well as Icy Black, who realize that that elimination is right here. It could be imminent. They're looking to go ahead and have some type of a difference show up for their team than they've been seeing in the last 2 engagements. Tattle, what do they need to do to keep themselves in this game?
They need to get KanSenpai on this Kinessa, keep him safe, and you know what? Look how far back KanSenpai's having to stay. Terrified right now. But they've not noticed him. He's set back up. The rest of the team fight is starting. There goes the accursed arm from Cammy. He picks up Cerevok. Impacalypse takes down Dramamine. Cammy finds another kill. It's going great for Icy Black so far. They're finding the kills. Almost cleaning up this point. Mega turret from RobFord, though. That's going to keep them busy for a second. Just waits around the corner, though.
Nice.
He's not going to find that kill as he's on his own in this one.
Yeah, that was a nice play. I mean, all you saw was RobFord brought the Mega Turret and Impacalypse. Let me hide behind this tree real quick. I mean, when anyone is shooting huge giant rockets at you, all you got to do is just hide behind a tree, apparently, and the rockets stop firing. So that was exactly what Impacalypse needed to do and turns the point in their favor. He's holding it down while the enemy team, Icy Gray, is being zoned out by Icy Black and the other members, Chisus as well, on the team of Icy Black. It's going to be a close one, though, because WeeabooJones is coming out, but he gets chicken right away. Are they going to get the kill? They do pick up the kill. Impacalypse taking down WeeabooJones, and it's 96 points here. It's 50 now all the way, seeing if Icy Gray can go ahead and convince themselves that they can win this game right here, or if they're going to let Icy Black potentially back into this game. It all comes down to this moment. SexySavior being aggressed on by the accursed arm coming out from Androxus, but SexySavior is still on the point and alive, but it's not enough. The objective is captured by Icy Black. Unbelievable plays.
KanSenpai with the triple kill keeps them in the game right now. What a snipe from him, setting back the perfect position. They wipe them out, and you know, we're saying that it's just so hard for Icy Black to get into this one. They managed to do it. Icy Gray crumble the last second. They're not able to shut down that Kinessa. Their point focus is too much. They go for the greedy play, and Kinessa punishes them hard for it. But look at this now. They're on the defense. They only need 1 point for this game to be over. And right now, Icy Gray, they're doing a great job of cleaning things up and keeping Black down. KanSenpai does find a kill. Great angle use there from him, but he's going to get flanked by Cerevok, who's going to try and pick up this kill. The rest of the team, they're looking for the spawn camp right now. Cerevok, SexySavior, and WeeabooJones all picking up kills, and Icy Black, they're in a dire situation.
Yep, Icy Black looking like they're in trouble, and Icy Gray can see victory right beyond their fingertips here. They just have to reach out and grab it, and they're doing a great job of defending here. RobFord and all of the team members, as well as Cerevok and WeeabooJones, just basically making this a brawl, and that's what they want. They want to pick off players one at a time, not let them focus their attention, not let them group up, and meanwhile, Icy Black are running out of time. All they need is just to let this deep payload get defended, and Icy Gray are the victors and go on to the finals of the losers bracket. This is all the marbles here for Icy Black. I mean, I don't necessarily see them getting past this. This defense just looks too good.
There are so many ultimates being used by Icy Gray, however. There's a Mega Turret. RobFord found a triple kill with that one, sniping at Cammy in the air for the last one. And Icy Black, they need to re-coordinate, regroup up, but they have 30 seconds. This is going to be one big push. There comes the Hexafire, Mega Turret as well. WeeabooJones taking a lot of damage. Cerevok finds the first kill. RobFord goes down, however. Icy Black trying to make a push on this one. Impacalypse does go down, however. There's Cammy and Trillion, however. They're doing the work. They're trying to keep their team in this. Cammy goes down. Trillion finds the double kill. He's looking for the triple onto WeeabooJones. He needs this if they're to push forwards. KanSenpai picks it up. RobFord now trying to keep the team in bay. The payload is pushing overtime, does go through the rest of Icy Gray, pushing into this one. Great expectorate use, knocks them away from the payload, but it's not for enough time. KanSenpai still sniping away. He finds one kill onto SexySavior. Jesus with another onto Dramamine. Trillion finds RobFord. This push is still going strong. Cerevok does find a return kill, but he dies for his life. 6 seconds of the overtime, they're still keeping it over. Payload pushing its way down the track, going to get to this point if they're not halted. The rest of Icy Black trying to get this through. Icy Gray make it in time to halt it, but I don't know how much they can really do. There's the cursed arm from Cammy, finds one kill. Chisus gets traded inches away. Huge chicken comes out. Dragon Punch doesn't connect. Cerevok finds a double kill. Icy Black, they're crumbling at the last second. Icy Gray, they're going to take this. The kills come through, and that's Icy Gray. They're going to see victory in this one.
Oh my goodness. What a defense. What a game. I am impressed and speaking by one word at a time. Anyways, guys, this was
I
a
just
very
had to take a few seconds to breathe there.
yeah, exactly. I am amazed at this game. This was a fantastic game. By the way, this was an incredible showcase of what Identity Crisis apparently can do. Very evenly matched in terms of both of these teams here. But it was just a nice performance, seeing both teams have their moments, and then Tattle, just really, excel at different points in games, at different maps, and changing. We saw 3 different lineups coming out from Icy Black. And to me, when I look at that, I see a team that doesn't really have their identity yet. They don't really know what they want to be. They don't know who they need to be in terms of becoming their best for some of these picks that they're getting up against. And I want to see them improve in that, because I think if you have to switch your characters 3 times every single map, that just spells to me that something's not working the way that you would hope. And so if you want to, I think if Icy Black, which they played a fantastic game, and Icy Gray as well, props to both teams. I would have loved to see Icy Black maybe just stick with what was working, what won them the first game.
You're saying Identity Crisis Black have
yeah.
an identity crisis?
Oh my God! Wait a second. Hold on. That was nice, Tattle. You got an English class, man? What's up with that? That's nice. I like that. It was very, very clean. And I think that may be the issue. I mean, Identity Crisis, it may have spelled, the issue with the game. I mean, it was very clear that WeeabooJones and squad knew who they wanted to be. They knew what they needed to do. Icy Gray came in with, I think, the same squad every single game. And Icy Black kept mixing it up, trying to find their rhythm. And it's very hard to find rhythm when you keep subbing players in and out. I know this. I mean, I was playing professional sport. I was at a high level of competitive soccer. I mean, when you would sub 3 or 4 players in at the same time, yes, they have fresh legs. But I mean, the fact is you have to build your rhythm again. And it's the same thing with these different characters coming in with essentially fresh legs, trying to get the rhythm of the game. May not have worked out in their favor in these last 2 ones. And Icy Gray goes ahead and takes the victory. Anything you're seeing that stands out for you, Tattle, on this on the scoreboard, or just your thoughts after this game?
I still have to give props to Icy Black, though. As much as the changes didn't work out for them completely, the changes on KanSenpai, changing up their compositions and between the games and mixing things up, I did like it because, it showed adaptation. It wasn't completely right all the time, but that's what I want to be seeing teams do as we're moving forwards, adapting to the other team's players, adapting to the current meta and changing things up. I think a big part of this was we didn't see them play a Fernando all series. WeeabooJones was a monster on it the whole way through, and you've got the hard carry plays by Dramamine and SexySavior. Despite that, WeeabooJones, we saw on that last game, huge monster streak he was on. Mm-hmm. We never saw a Fernando pick up by Icy Black, As much as they were trying to adapt, they were trying to find a counter pick to this Fernando. And that's hard to do in a series when you don't really know how to do. When you're trying to work that out mid-series rather than just know it already coming in and being like, okay, just this is the counter, this is the Nando counter, go for it. When you don't know that, when you're trying to work it out as the series progresses, it's rough, and it showed. And I mean, props to Cammy as well. He was consistently making the big plays, finding the kills, doing the damage throughout the series, so props to him.
Yeah, I mean, props to all of Identity, Crisis Black. I mean, Kemi obviously did a very good job and, almost led at damage charts and obviously had a very nice KDA that he brought with him. 23 kills, 15 deaths, 16 assists, and 7 solo kills. So doing a lot of work on his own. But, again, it just, to me, was more of a, like you said, an identity crisis. They needed to, I think, come together with more of a stronger game plan. And when they can do that in these upcoming, competitive tournaments, I think they're going to be so much more effective. Although they did have some very nice single players shine, a very, very good marks on all the members from Identity Crisis. I really liked what I saw. It just was unfortunate that, we saw Icy Gray take the win, and very good for Icy Gray. Props to them. They made the right changes, and they stuck with what they knew worked. And to be honest, Tattle, before we get into this next game, I mean, the truth is this is the end of an era. This is the end of IC versus IC, man. What are we going to do when we're not IC on both sides?
It's no longer IC victory and IC defeat. It's just one or the other. It's going to be sad. But I tell you what, IC Gray, they see Ronin in the next round.
They sure do. And we'll see actually if Zenith Black has something to say about that, because they're going to be jumping in actually next against IC Gray to see who's going to be taking on Ronin in the grand finals. Zenith Black may be doing a little bit better than Identity Crisis Black. We will see as this next finals of the losers bracket comes to pass. Stay with us, guys, and we'll be back as soon as possible to get you those losers finals, of course, determining who's going to win in the grand finals and get the final spot in NA for the week 5 tournament that will determine who gets the ticket to DreamHack, see those Swedish babes, and of course, get a chance at that $100,000 in that DreamHack Founders Tournament. Stay tuned. Don't move your booties, and we'll see you in just a moment.